So my boss, who is a super B.I. They finally found the video. They found the video. So
I always put myself out there. I always put myself on a limb. I really jeopardized my job. And then at the end of the day, I'm exposed or I'm worse off in some way at their expense, and they don't care.
And let this be a sign that if anybody asks you, how is everything with your coworkers? The answer should be one word: block, blocked. Because some of them are snooping around on social media, and you never know what gets back to your boss at work because of what you've posted.
okay, so get this. So there's this girl at work who's about to get fired. As the IT manager, I always know about any onboards or offboards before they happen because they want to make sure that I revoke access to their emails, and they want me to make sure that they're locked out of certain things so that nobody who's getting fired can go back and like shoot a company-wide email or anything like that. So I'm one of the first people to know when somebody's going to be onboarded or offboarded so that I can prepare their computer and their access and so on and so forth. So my boss, who is a super B.I. and the HR lady have been telling me we have an offboard coming up and this is super confidential. Nobody can know about this. And they keep saying that it's confidential, it's confidential. And I found out that the girl that they're firing, she's a really sweet girl. Like, she just got a raise, she just got promoted, like she does a great job at work, and she's always super sweet whenever you talk to her. So I'm like, okay, something strange is going on here.
Ma'am, something strange would be going on with you because you done got on this internet. And she said her boss was a B in 4K. And imagine the ops at your job watching you say this on social media, and they sitting back plotting like, you know what, I always wanted to be in the IT department. You know, I've been waiting on her to move so I could solidify my slot. And you know what they do? They show the video of you saying she's a B to your boss and trick you out your position. But I digress. Let's see what else happens next.
Now, normally when it comes to affairs of onboards and offboards, I don't get involved. I just tell them what to do. I don't talk to the employee that is getting offboarded or whatever, just because that's not my place, that's not my job. But this particular employee that they're about to fire, she's such a sweet girl, and I've had many interactions with her where she's just been very positive and upbeat. I know that she recently got married and she recently got a raise, so I know that it's not because of her performance. I felt like something else is beneath the surface. Y'all, I feel like God put it on my heart to tell the girl that she's about to get fired.
Ma'am, what God? I need to... You sure? No, I'm not saying that couldn't have happened. But the way that something like this could backfire when they are telling you at your job that this is confidential. They trying to keep stuff on the need to know, it sound like. Perfectly fine. And ma'am, this is your place of employment. So what was in your ear telling you, you know what, I need to give this person a heads up because it's been put on my spirit. I'm just wondering. Because sometimes it's the devil. I'm gonna be honest, sometimes it's the devil. Can't confirm nor deny.
So I text the girl and I'm like, hey, meet me upstairs by the elevator. And she's like, okay. So she comes upstairs. I pull her aside, like out of view. So I tell her, you're about to get fired and they're about to do it on Tuesday. This was Thursday last week.
Girl, you done gave her a few days notice. So now she got enough time to act out. Okay, got you. This was put on your spirit. Okay. We're up to speed.
And she starts bawling. She's like so taken aback. She's like, what do you mean I'm getting fired? And I was like, I don't know the reason. All I know is that they already have your replacement. They want me to prep your computer for that replacement. And she kept on asking me, like, do you know why they're firing me? Why are they firing me? Why? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't get any of that information. They just tell me what to do with the assets. That's it. So... do you know this girl proceeds to tell me how the HR lady who keeps on telling me confidential offboard, her and the HR girl were actually friends before she started working at the company. Now, they go out to lunch sometimes, they chat, they text, they call, they hang out outside of work. the girl who's about to get fired, she was chatting with her friend that works in HR. And she was telling her that she was so excited. She just got a raise and they were celebrating. You know, it was like a happy moment. Somehow, some way, the HR girl goes back to my boss and tells my boss about the conversation that, oh, she was discussing her pay, and one thing led to another, and the boss calls the girl who's about to get fired into her office. So my boss is telling her, why were you discussing that you got a pay raise? You shouldn't be doing that. And she really ripped into her, and the girl was like, oh, I apologize. I didn't realize that I wasn't able to discuss getting a pay raise. As a matter of fact, when the HR girl, my friend, got a raise, we had a very similar conversation where we were both celebrating and I didn't see anything wrong with it.
I'm a little bit confused too. Allegedly, if that's what happened, since when you can't discuss that? Maybe they signed some paperwork where it said that those sort of things couldn't be discussed. Now, if that's the case, that's totally different, but this is interesting.
And she says, ever since that conversation, things have been strange. Neither one of them want to talk to her. They both have kind of been avoiding her. They haven't been as friendly. And now she's getting fired. Y'all, corporate America is nothing to play with. I've seen people undercut, backstab. I've seen people do some conniving, evil things, thinking that it's going to benefit their position in the company, or maybe help them with a pay raise, or maybe help them get close to somebody who can better their circumstance. And I have seen some cutthroat, heartless, cold individuals just do some very disgusting things, and this situation is one of them. So my intention here was just to tell the girl ahead of the weekend so that she could prepare herself, so that she could gather any evidence that might work in her favor, because I feel like specifically in this case, they know that they have some damning evidence against them, which is why they kept on telling me it's confidential, it's confidential, it's confidential. The HR girl knows that she said some things that could possibly incriminate her, so she wants to make sure that she catches this girl off guard. It's about to go down. So I text my girl, cause she's my girl now. I texted her this morning. I was like, hey, happy firing day. Like, I hope you're ready. I hope you got all the evidence that you need. Make sure when you walk in there, you hit the record button.
Girl, you said happy firing day, and she said now this is her girl. Was she your friend before this? Or y'all just linked up after some drama was finna go down, and now y'all are friends? Cause ma'am, how do we know she can be trusted? How? I feel like everybody has to go through some sort of vetting period. And I just feel hearing this story, she ain't vet this other lady long enough to know if she can be telling her all of this and that this isn't gonna blow up in her face, because she still got a job, allegedly.
We're both interested to know what reason they're gonna have to fire her. And my girl, she ready, okay? She said if they don't come with the severance package, if they're not paying out my benefits through the end of June, I'm not signing anything. If they refuse severance, I'm gonna ask HR why they're refusing severance. I'm also gonna ask for a written note where they say they're not gonna contest my unemployment. I said, yes, girl, you understood the assignment. So here we go. I'm about to go to work. I feel so happy because I gave somebody that empowerment. I remember when I got fired once before, how it felt. I felt so unprepared walking into that conversation, and I really wanted her to just take this opportunity to prepare herself. So, like and follow for part 2.
And in fact, there is a part 2. There's many parts to this, and we gonna watch it together for the first time. But first, we want to go to the comments. Now, this video was actually posted May 26th. 2026. And here's the comment from the day that she posted this video saying, "Are you going to get fired for telling us?" That's what I'm thinking. Another saying, HR here, it's 1,000,000% legal to discuss your pay rate and increases. Corporate people don't like that. It's completely legal. If you have lost a job for discussing your pay, sue. Always sue. Now, I can't confirm nor deny because I don't know what's been signed. Always look at your paperwork, but I've never heard of anything like that. So I thought that was interesting. So it could have been for any reason that the other woman was fired, and we're not sure. Another comment saying, you're about to be off-boarded too. Now, people are telling her in different ways on that same day, girl, this is going to go viral and I'm so scared for you. And she's liking the comments on the same day it was posted. Others saying, you did the right thing, but you should delete this video. And this video is evidence and an admission to her going against what her boss has told her, that this matter is confidential. It's not confidential if 8.7 million people have viewed this video and it's pinned to your TikTok page. Like that's not confidential. And I have to agree, they said HR and your boss watching this video. This is them. Allegedly, can't confirm nor deny. And the plot thickens. Literally, she posted this video saying plot twist part 2, and I'm almost scared to watch it.
Okay, y'all, part 2. So I get here right at 9 o'clock. And as I'm getting out of my car, I'm walking through the parking lot and I see my boss has already walked her to the car with her belongings. Like, she's out of there, 9 o'clock on the dot. She's removed, like the conversation has already happened. So I gotta call my girl and see what's up. So I call her and I'm like, what happened? And she's like, well, my manager pulled me into her office as soon as I got here this morning and was like, you're being let go. She said when she called her into the office, she hit the record button because she knew what time it was. Ask her manager, why am I being let go? And at that point, the manager says, my boss is gonna explain further. So my boss enters the conversation and she just proceeds to say it's not been a good fit. It's not a good fit was the reason.
And I got a few questions. Ma'am, why is your voice so low? Why are you whispering? Why are you telling the story like this? Like, and then she said, and then he came in and said it was wrongful termination. Ma'am, I need you to put some bass in the voice. And are you at work allegedly? Because I'm looking up here. This looked like corporate ceiling to me. Allegedly, can't confirm nor deny. But ma'am, I hope you are not at work telling us what is going on and that's why you're whispering. You already wasn't supposed to tell us nothing about what was going on, but we in the mix and we locked in and we got our popcorn and our coconut waters, thirsty to hear what else is about to go on. And you whispering. What you whispering for?
Let me back it up to last week, okay? So last week when I told my girl that she was getting fired, she remembered that she has not had her performance review. So she sent them an email and was like, hey, I haven't had my annual performance review, and based off of the positive feedback that I had when I got my raise and yada yada yada, I think now would be a great time for us to have a discussion about how I can improve my performance or something to that effect. To which, mind you, this is on Friday after I give her the news that she's getting fired. Her direct manager does not respond to the email. Friday goes by, no response. She comes in today and that manager is being extremely hostile towards her this morning, like when she pulls up. So yeah, no response to the performance review question. She said that was not the first time she asked about it. She said on Thursday and Friday, she spent all that time just getting together the timeline of her asking for the performance review and them saying that they don't have anything on the calendar.
Right.
So I'm like, is the performance review what they're trying to say is? And she's like, no, I'm telling you that I never got a performance review. So the reason is just, it was not a good fit. So sometimes after she leaves the building, she gets the email that has the PDF with the severance letter, basically that you are terminated. And so she screenshots me the email that she constructed in response to my boss sending her the severance letter. And it was something to the effect of, thank you for sending me the severance letter. I will have to have my attorney review it since I'm not well versed in this. I appreciate you, yada yada yada, sincerely signed, that kind of thing. Long story short, my girl is about to sue. And I don't know how this is gonna play into all this, but during everything she was telling me, she said specifically that her family is in Hollywood.
And ma'am, you messy. She messy. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. This face right here, when I paused it, where my do y'all, I'm sorry I did you like this, ma'am. This gives, in my opinion, them co-workers at work that be telling all your business, like, and then she walked in the break room and then I was like, and then the boss said, why you ain't clock in on time? And then she was like, cause I take my kids to take care. One of the kids was late. My car broke down. And then the boss was like, oh, we don't give a dang. And then they was like, oh my gosh, y'all don't care about nobody but y'all. Like, this is what you giving. You know everything at the job. You know all the deets. And I'm still trying to get past all this whispering she doing. But now the girl allegedly is about to sue. And you know what I think when I hear this whole story is, ma'am, if she is gonna sue, you gonna get brought up in the lawsuit. You gonna get brought up as somebody who gonna have to tell the truth on the stand about what happened, because you are the one who let her know all of this information, allegedly. They may call you in for questioning. Also, you're posting evidence of allegedly what has happened that was supposed to be confidential. Like, you just asking to be in the mix. And I'm not sure if you wanted to be in the mix, but you in the mix. You calling her your girl. I hope she'll ride for you. I hope, you know, if anything goes bad about this, but I can't get past the messiness on your face right now. Let me go ahead and unpause you. Messy!
So, she has a good lawyer. I don't know what's about to happen, y'all,
But you gonna tell us. You gonna tell us everything. You gonna figure it out, because this your girl. Your girl. Okay.
could get crazy. Also, I just wanted to mention, for those of you who are worried about my job, I'm actually contracted at this company and my contract is not getting renewed, so I'm already on my way out. And the whole thing with my contract ending, my company that I work for being fired, the circumstances surrounding that were shady as hell too. So that's why I knew something was up with this. This was kind of like a F you on my way out type of thing, and I'm so happy that she's taking it there. She mentioned retaliation, termination. She was using the lawyer term, so I know she's been in contact with an attorney. And secondly, I can sense this girl's energy. Like, she's always been, you know, when you just feel that somebody is a good human being, she's always had that energy and aura about herself.
In my opinion, has been wrongfully terminated. I don't see anything wrong with her doing whatever she needs to do. The whole thing about it is, for those of you who are watching who may see this sort of stuff happen where you work, do I think that y'all should throw yourselves in the mix? Absolutely not. If you need your employment, it's very unfortunate things like this may happen to people, but there are ways that they can handle it professionally, and you don't have to get involved as somebody's coworker. You don't have to stick your neck out and tell them something that they were going to get told anyway, which is that they were going to be let go for whatever reason. You just need to do your job. And it's not nothing personal. It really isn't. Because if she is the type of person that is being described, you know, that's going to go out of their way to do their research and see what their options are, I truly feel she was going to do that regardless if you told her a few days ahead of time that she was going to get terminated or not. Because she's doing what's best for herself. She's exploring her options. So you sticking your neck out, it's a possibility things can go bad.
Did mention that she already has another job lined up and it pays better than this one, so
That's good.
shout out to my girl. And she has been extremely grateful throughout all this. She keeps singing my praises. She's like, oh my God, I appreciate you so much. Thank you. She's prayed over me. She's just been so grateful that I gave her this opportunity. So that alone is enough for me.
What opportunity was given? Because she still got fired. Yes, she had a little bit of a heads up by a few days, but man, what is about to happen to you? That's what I want to know. What's about to happen to you? And she said, part 2, because the situation escalated very quickly. And let me whisper and say this part. And I was not prepared for this level of workplace chaos. Man, we can't tell, because wherever you were shooting this looked like corporate to me with them ceilings, and we seen you in 5K telling all the tea, but you wasn't prepared. Okay. Allegedly. Now, the first comment says, not a good fit, but got a promotion and a raise. That is very interesting though. And someone here said, thank you for sharing that you are contracted, because I was scared for your job. I'm still scared for her job. And ma'am, you just on a roll. You've been getting 1 million+ views, multiple million views on all of these videos. And then what is this? Final update, 1.1 million views. And I just know that this is not about to go well.
I know you guys have been waiting for an update all day, and I don't think it's fair to leave you hanging, so I have to give you guys an update.
Ma'am, you never had to do any of this, by the way. But since you did, what happened? I hope you didn't get fired.
I'm sorry, I'm so upset because I feel like this always happens, you know, like I feel like I always put myself out there. I always put myself on a limb. I really jeopardized my job, you know?
Yes, we do know. We came, we saw, and you recorded. We know. But what, I'm gonna let her tell it what happened.
Because I saw somebody who was being wrongly terminated.
Right.
And I decided to step in and do something about it.
Okay.
The update is that the girl that I did all that for,
Right.
she doesn't actually want to pursue a lawsuit. And at first, I guess that didn't really bother me because I realized that not everybody has the same energy I have, right?
Okay.
But I guess what really bothers me is that I reached out to the person and I told her how everybody on TikTok is rallying for her, and you know, I reached out to her and she just completely like blew me off.
Okay. Okay. This is my first time seeing any of this. So you done stuck your neck out for this lady. You was calling her your girl and everything. And whether she wanted to pursue legal action or not, or if she was just bluffing, hey, nobody's concerned but hers and the company, if we're being honest, right? That's her choice. And you told her that you essentially told all the business to TikTok and she blew you off and now you're upset. This is why look, and I said it in the beginning. She was saying, oh, this is my girl. Like, I'm doing all the, like, ma'am, y'all are co-workers. Like, some of y'all gotta understand that that's all it is and all it ever was. And you sticking your neck out to tell her something she was eventually going to find out just going to work did nothing for you except expose the fact that you were going against what your boss told you and what seems to be company protocol. For somebody that it didn't really seem like you knew, you just thought, oh, she's a good person and there's nothing wrong with that. But what did you want her to do? To be your best friend or something, or be like, and I'm sorry she's disappointed because it seems like she wanted or expected something that didn't happen here, but I'm trying to understand what that was. She didn't have to pursue legal action and she is allowed to blow you off. People have the right to do that too. Maybe it was one-sided, whatever type of relationship you thought was going on, maybe it wasn't that for her. Maybe that's what you thought it was, and that's why you kept coming back to do all these things. But ma'am, you was on TikTok just telling all the business. So maybe she didn't want TikTok to know everything. I don't know. You crazy.
And there's been so many times where I've been in this exact same position where it feels like I am being the purest form of myself. I see people that are in need and I help them. And then at the end of the day, I'm exposed or I'm worse off in some way at their expense and they don't care.
I'm trying to understand genuinely because I'm confused at this moment. What are the tears for? And she's saying this happens all the time. What? That, ma'am, this was messy. You didn't have to tell. Let's just be honest. And this was messy. Objectively speaking, from the outside perspective looking in, if you do stuff like this all the time, especially in a work setting, this might just be a sign to stop doing that. This might be a sign. What we have to remember is these folks you work with are fully functioning adults capable of handling their own problems. And in this case, when it came to simply her job, if your job is to onboard or offboard people from a security perspective, that's your job. But your job is not to tell them that they are going to get fired in 3 to 4 business days. That's not your job. And all that I'm hearing here is I went above my pay grade doing something that nobody told me to do. And for some reason, I don't like the way that I'm being treated after I did something nobody asked me to do by the person who I did it for. Because you thought, what? This was a friend? Did she know that this is the case? Because what did you want to happen? Was there supposed to be a kumbaya moment where y'all are best friends now through the trauma of her being fired and you telling her she was going to get fired, and she did get fired, which was a fact and nothing really changed, but you told her a few days ahead of time so she could tell you she's maybe going to press legal charges and not do that, and now you're mad because you came on here and told TikTok and she didn't really want nothing to do with you? Did you want friendship out of this? Because this is perplexing. I'm a little concerned now.
They go on and they live their lives. The girl, she has a new job. She's fine. I went to work today, and as much as I wanted to not care, I felt exposed. I felt like I put myself out there. I might walk in here and they might cut my contract early because of what I did. And then this girl is just somewhere living her life.
And that's how life goes. I want to say maybe she doesn't understand that. One thing about it is, no matter what situation you're in, even if you're in the position of the girl that got fired, you're going to wake up tomorrow and it's going to be a new day. So the question is, what are you about to do about it? Which is why I'm confused about what this lady right here is saying. What was the other girl supposed to do? Curl up in a ball and run to you and then do everything that you wanted her to do? It's her life. And nobody asked her to do all of that. And it didn't seem like they were even friends. Many people go to work thinking that these folks you work with are your friends. They are not. They are not. In this situation, it doesn't even sound like the other girl did nothing wrong. She just moved on because she got fired. Now, there are people you are going to work with that might become real life friends, but there's a process for that. And this sounded like she was trying to trauma bond through a job loss, and it didn't happen the way she wanted it to happen. And she's like, oh, this is such a nice person and blah, blah. And she probably is a nice person. This doesn't make her a mean person because she didn't want to, do the salsa with you. What?
She couldn't even respond to my text message when I told her that everybody was rooting for her. She didn't care.
Man, because she got a real life to live. This is social media you're talking about. You're going to this lady talking about, I told social media the whole story and it went viral. Some people don't care. They're like, so who's going to help me pay my bills? I got other things to worry about. I got to get in good at this new job. I got bills to pay. Life is going to go on. Like, you was at my old job. That's an old chapter of my life. I don't want nothing to do with that job. And you're part of the job, and this is messy. And imagine if she's seen the things you were saying, if she's seen you over there like the Yin Yang Twins in the Whisper song, doing all this whispering, allegedly in the corporate setting, talking about what happened to her and how you entered yourself in the mix, unprovoked, like you was the locked savior. Ma'am, you gotta stop. You gotta stop. Clearly, if you keep finding yourself in a situation, that's telling you something right there. Sometimes it's best to just stay out the way in certain situations. And this is your employment. This is your employment.
He didn't care, and that it's always like that. I feel like this world does not deserve me, and I constantly get that reminder that nobody is as real as me.
I feel like I'm on punked. I don't know how to feel about this. I actually speechless, perplexed. She said the world don't deserve her?
And I've felt that way my whole life. There is nobody in my universe who truly understands my heart and appreciates me for who I am and the love that I have for people. And that hurts. It's a pretty lonely existence, And I know that's definitely not the update that everybody wanted to hear. You guys have been.
Now, this is a hard one for me to even comment on, because I think there are two things going on here at once, if I'm being honest. I think there is a level of her feeling like she's not being accepted by people, and that clashing with this specific situation, which is isolated. This is separate. That's just what I'm gathering. I don't know everything. I could be totally wrong, but she got on here and told that other lady's story that nobody asked her to tell. And it's almost like she wanted her to respond in a certain way. And it's like, did you want to be friends with her and have community and all of those things? Because if so, I can understand that. Like, it seems like the other lady must have been a heck of a lady, because the way that she is reacting to the other lady's reaction is interesting. I think that lady got light on her, that other lady. And I'm not saying she doesn't, but she seems like she really wanted to be in her company for some reason, but I don't think this was her battle to get in. Am I wrong, y'all? I'm open to being wrong because I know I'm not always right, but she is crying. And honestly, I'm not shocked that this happened. From the beginning, I said, how close are y'all? And I've never seen this. You was over here, my girl. When people start doing all that real quick in a short amount of time, especially off of something traumatic, losing a job is traumatic, if we're being honest. And I feel like she wanted to trauma bond over losing a job. Like, am I wrong? Because I don't see nobody else saying that, but that's what it feels like. Because imagine being the other girl.
You guys have been amazing. All of the positive comments and feedbacks, all the follows, the likes, the shares, the reposts, the support, all of you guys rallying behind this girl that we're all rooting for, right?
Girl, all of that has nothing to do with you. You was telling this lady's story, and you over here talking about likes and follows and stuff, and talking about people rallying behind her, and you're crying. You're crying about, and I'm not even sure why she's crying. They can still support her, and y'all don't have to be besties. What level of confused am I right now? Y'all, I'm on level 10. What am I watching?
And just being so kind and loving towards me and seeing me. I felt so seen by you guys.
Because these went viral when you were telling the story of what was happening with the girl. I'm convinced this is deeper than, and I'm just gonna try to be gentle. I think it's something deeper going on here, and I hope she's okay. Genuinely speaking.
And just to feel that the person that I did all that for, she could give two you know? And I just feel that's just my life, you know? Again. And now I am exposed at work, and she's somewhere living her life. So that is the update. Yeah.
To be fair, she's only exposed at work because she exposed herself. She did that. We did see that, right? I hate when y'all have me questioning, did I miss something? Like, did y'all see what I saw? The part 1 and the part 2? The whisper song? The corporate ceilings? That happened. Okay. Let me go to the comments. I'm scared. Now, the first comment says, sorry to hear this, but honestly, I saw this coming. I did too, with my glasses and my magnifying glass. Who couldn't have seen that coming? They didn't seem like they were friends. Now, the next comment says, moral of the story, mind the business that pays you. I agree. And somebody here said it best. This is what I was saying. I'm not going against the place that pays my bills. Now, if you want to do that, that's your prerogative. But now you walking around the job talking about you're exposed when you exposed yourself, because I just know the HR department had to see this. I just know they had to have, girl, you got millions of views on this whole series that you've done about this girl's termination. They are telling her in the comments, girl, this was not your fight. Oh, this might be the one that wraps it up. And this ain't the end, y'all, because there's another part to this story. But someone said, I think the problem is that you've centered yourself in someone else's story. Give her space to deal with losing her job. Yes. And maybe take a break from TikTok. And I couldn't agree more.
So for a minute, I started to feel bad. But today, we're coming with the receipts. I'm not gonna lie, yesterday I was getting a little bit in my feelings because I started to feel like I had done too much. I was starting to feel regret, like, oh my God, why did I put myself in this position? But you know what? That job. I'm saying that with my full chest this time. Last time I said it, I didn't really mean it, but this time I'm willing to walk away from that job to let y'all see that there are people out here, there are good people out here like me who are willing to risk it all to help a human being.
What did we do to get yelled at? Like, ma'am, you came to us with the BS. We didn't ask for this. We just tuned in. Why do y'all feel like y'all have to prove something to social media by risking your job? Nobody asked. Who signed off on that? You signed off on that. Cause no, I ain't seen not one person in the comments say, risk your job to show us you're a good person. Who is asking that to be proven? And why do you feel like it needs to be proven in this way? What are we watching? Like, and girl, if you gonna quit or not? Because if you gonna do all this yapping, let me see if you about what you're talking about. And I don't want her to lose her job, but you came on here talking about you got something to prove, and I'm willing to show y'all this. And like, ma'am, it is the internet. Relax. You can't take none of this stuff too serious. And trust me, I know. But we don't want you to lose your job or quit your job. Never. The way you pay your bills, support your family, survive. Why would anybody want that? We don't know you, but nobody asked for you to put your job on the line.
How many times have you seen somebody who was down and out and all you did was turn and look the other way? I can't tell you how many times I've seen videos on social media where people are recording somebody who needs help, somebody who's drowning, literally drowning, and all people are doing is recording it. Help them jump in the water, help them swim. And that's what I was doing. The girl needed a paddle and I gave it to her, and I refuse to be ashamed of that. I refuse.
She needed a paddle and you gave her, ma'am, you gave her a timer. And you know what her timer was ticking, singing? Time is slipping away from me. Because she was running out of time. They was firing her in about 4 business days. There was no saving her. And we don't know why, but it was like the can that was being kicked down the road. She was about to be laid off regardless. Saving. And girl, they said you gave her the paddle to help, but girl, you set up the tripod before you did so. Dang. And another comment saying, what are you expecting her to do though? You did what you think is right. You then get mad that she didn't continue to update you for your content online. Oh, is that what this is about? Allegedly, I can't confirm nor deny. But they going to say she has no obligation to do that. If you do something nice, just absorb that into your spirit. Stop expecting a reward for it. It takes away from the nature of the action.
And I want to answer this question because I keep getting it on that video where I was crying, I was having a breakdown. What you're seeing in that video, like I said, it's a moment in time. I, at that moment, am feeling feelings of remorse. I'm feeling regretful because I still work at the company, and I'm realizing that I just stuck my neck out for somebody who has moved on with their life, and now I am in an exposed situation where I am looking over my shoulder wondering when I'm going to get fired.
Ma'am, with all due respect, ma'am, you had prior knowledge that she was getting fired, and you also had knowledge that you weren't. And you told her something you weren't supposed to tell her, and you're saying you stuck out your neck, but it's to no surprise that you were looking over your shoulder because you have went viral, extremely viral on TikTok for telling this story that you weren't supposed to tell. I feel this is a guilty conscience. And here's a few things that could have happened. She could have told the lady she was going to get fired. Still wasn't supposed to do that. But say you wanted to do that and you do it. Fine. And you say, hey, I'm not supposed to tell you this, but I told you. And maybe since this was your girl, like, you know, maybe y'all can keep that between you two, right? But what happened is you set up the camera and came and told us that you told her, gaining you millions of views on your videos on TikTok, many eyes that might even be working with you. Hint, hint, why you may have a feeling of, did anybody see that? Does anybody know? Because of what you did twice on 2 separate occasions. You see, this isn't a fault of anybody else. And I feel at some point there needs to be a level of accountability and understanding why you're feeling what you're feeling, because it makes sense to be paranoid after you did something you weren't supposed to do when you're at the place that you did it at.
So that's what you see me talking about in the video. It's not out of expectation from her. It's simply starting to feel like maybe I made the wrong decision, which is a very human response.
And I believe you did make the wrong decision, because what do we see here? This was posted 3 days ago. Mind you, also millions of views on this video, 5.7, I think, million. And it says fired for viral video. Now, at this point, we didn't even watch the whole everything that she posted, but we get the gist, ma'am. Tell us what happened. I don't know if I'm ready. Where's my coconut water to hydrate? Okay.
I got fired, y'all. I got fired. They finally found the video. That video, they found the video. So, y'all know I had to come back and tell you what happened.
And that's the problem. It's these dang phones. Like, the need to come back and keep telling us, we're gonna watch. 5 million people already have seen it. Clearly, you want us to know. So we want to know what happened. But ma'am, and to everybody watching, I hope a lesson is being learned here. When it comes to your job and TikTok, sometimes it's best to keep everything separate. Sometimes, like, how many times have we seen people get fired for things that have happened on TikTok? It's an epidemic. Like, if you think it may not happen to you, you're not being honest. You're not being aware. And maybe you don't want to work at your job like you say you do. Maybe it's not that important to you. But these are the realities.
3 weeks ago, 3 weeks and 1 day, because today's June 16th, I posted that video on May 25th. 3 weeks later, my employer, they found the video. So I went into work today. Everything was very normal. I helped the finance department set up their check scanner. While I was doing that, I had a couple of the executives come over to me and they were asking for help with this or asking for help with that. And it was like so busy that the finance guy that I was helping, he was like, oh wow, you're popular today. And I was like, yeah, I don't know what's up with that.
You don't? You don't. And every video you posted about in this series has almost 2 million views on some of these videos. You don't know why you're popular? He was trying to give you a hint, ma'am. He over here playing and you ain't catching the shade. Like, oh, I don't know why you're so popular. We do. We do.
So I don't think anything of it. I'm just going about my merry little business.
Oblivious.
I have an interaction with my boss that's a little bit strange, but not really. So what happened was one of the executives asked if I could make his laptop a personal laptop and remove it from the domain of the company that I work for, that I'm contracted by. So I have to run it by my boss. And so I had to go and ask her for permission. She was like, oh yeah, he's an executive. He gets whatever he wants. Just go ahead and do it. But before I asked her, like when I knocked on her door, she looked up and she had this look on her face like she was irritated. You know?
Is this the one that you called the B word? Is that her? She looked at you like she was irritated. Y'all got the full story if you was here for the beginning. Is that the one that you was like, she's a total... Like, y'all remember that? Yeah, like, no way she saw you say that. No way she's part of the 5 million. Or what was that, 14 million? Oh, my bad, 8.7 million. That saw the video where you was calling your boss a B word. No, she couldn't have been one of them. No, how would she be one of the people who seen it? Because TikTok does not send videos to people that you work with in your vicinity, in your city. No. Absolutely not. No, TikTok does not have all the contacts in your phone that you have listed in there as boss or B word and say, are these any of people that you know? And send them your videos. No, that doesn't happen. We have no recollection of this ever happening in the history of technology. You are the first.
But before I asked her, like when I knocked on her door, she looked up and she had this look on her face like she was irritated. You know, she had this look on her face. I couldn't quite place it, but it was just like a fleeting look. Once I started talking, you know, she, changed her demeanor or whatever. And so she gave me the approval. I went, I did the laptop, I gave it to the executive, and that was that. Maybe like an hour later, she stopped by my office and she was like, hey, did you get such and such situated? And I said, yeah, he's good to go. And she was like, okay, thank you so much. And that was it. I would say like 30 minutes after that interaction, I went to go like look at my Slack messages or my email or something to follow up with a user, and I couldn't get in. My email wasn't working. My password wasn't working. And I immediately thought, okay, I'm being offboarded. This is me being offboarded.
She laughing. She was just crying about, I'm gonna let you have it. Now, I don't know why she was being offboarded 100%, but just seeing this as somebody outside looking in, ma'am, if you ever need another job, I really do hope you take these videos down, because it seems you think this is a joke. We done seen you go through 5 different stages of grief, and I don't know how to feel about it, honestly, but right now you're laughing. We just seen you crying a minute ago. We just seen you angry. You were compassionate, empathetic. I'm just trying to help, and now you're getting fired and you're laughing, and you've been walking around paranoid through this whole situation. It was never worth it for them videos. Now, in my opinion, all of this, now you done logged in your laptop and you blocked. You're blocked. And now you and that lady that you did all of this about done felt the same thing. Termination. Only this time, you didn't get no warning. You see how didn't nobody come and tell you ahead of time that you was getting terminated? They didn't stick their neck out for you about their job. They didn't say, oh, Tiffany's such a good person. We need to let her know ahead of time so she can fit. You see how didn't nobody do that? Come on.
I'm like, they found the video. So I'm cool, I'm calm, calm, collected. I'm like, okay, this is the day. My time is up. Okay, the jig is up.
And mind you, she had this video up and it's still up. All the videos are still up of this whole incident throughout those 3 weeks of her getting on here, posting multiple videos because I couldn't even review them all. Throughout all of these weeks, she didn't take any of them down. So she's been walking around paranoid, knowing, hey, these millions of views I'm getting on this video, these videos on social media, and these comments and these shares and the likes and stuff, it must have been worth it to her to keep it up and walk around paranoid at that job, risking it getting to her employer. And that's her choice. So whatever happens, if it's in connection to that, I truly feel like this is what she wanted. Honestly, some people would rather have the virality and the likes and the shares and all of it than to have security in their job and not put their job on the line. They put their job on the line for TikTok, for the views. Maybe she can make her money online or get another job, but this didn't have to happen. None of this. This is very unfortunate.
So I leave, and when I leave, I call the company that I have the contract through, and I'm like, hey, I just want to know, am I being offboarded?
This ain't funny.
And he's like, I don't know why you would be. I don't have any orders for you being off. Like, what? So he's like, let me check on that. I'll put a ticket in, and then I'll get back to you in the morning. And I was like, okay. And maybe like an hour later, I got a call from the guy who cuts my checks. And he was like, hey, Tiffany, so I'm just going to get straight to the point. I got a call from the company, and I'm pretty sure you already know what this is about. They do not want you to come back to the site. And I said, is this about the TikTok videos? And he said, yes, this is 100% about the TikTok videos.
And you laughing. You see, all by choice. Now, there is something called consequences for our actions. And Miss Tiffany did all of this to herself. All of this, the consequences that happened, all done to herself. I'm glad she's able to laugh about it right now, though. But I don't find this funny. Like, I wouldn't wish unemployment on anybody in this economy. And she posted this 3 days ago. She may be stellar at what she does, but future employers may see this same video that got you fired from your current employer, and you're laughing. They may not take you serious. They may think you're messy. You might be considered the messy boots. You want to be considered the messy boots? The one that goes against the company policies? A risk? This ain't funny.
So I'm thinking in my mind, I wonder who found out. Like, who was it that actually encountered the video? Was it my boss? I'm interested to see how all of that went down behind the scenes. Like, I want to know. If you're out there and you're watching this video and you work at the company, please let me know how it went down behind the scenes, because we gotta know. The people want to know, okay?
Man, this is real life. Forget we need to know. Social media is really doing a number on some of y'all. What I would like for everyone to do is think of it like the Matrix, okay? A lot of this stuff ain't real life. What you are encountering at your job is real life, okay? The likes, the follows, all of that. I'm not saying it can't be helpful, especially if your dream is to do social media, but I'm saying in your case, it's getting you fired from your job. And in your real life, you're gonna have to find another job unless you make this your job. And I feel she's more worried about giving us the plot. I'm more worried about how she gonna pay her bills, and she over here talking about the people need to know. Well, dang, Tiffany, well, okay, since you want us to know so bad, let you tell us what else is important.
Also, the HR girl was not in the office today. I did notice. I don't know if she got fired for what happened, for what I said. I don't know why she would. I'm not sure. Or maybe she saw the video. Maybe she's the one who encountered the video and she didn't want to come to work today and face me. Or maybe whatever I said in the video, she was so perturbed by it that she called out. I don't know. But the HR girl was not there. My boss was there, and she was pleasant. She was pleasant enough. So yeah, that's how it all went down, you guys. So what's next for me? I guess I'm about to be a full-time content creator. So help your girl out, hit the follow button. You know what time it is. Like, we're doing this full time, okay?
I called it. She cared way too much about what social media thought for that not to be the gateway. And I'm convinced the gateway is get fired from my corporate job because I was doing stuff on TikTok that I wasn't supposed to do, and then get on TikTok acting like I don't know why I got fired, and then say I'm gonna do content creation full time. And for Tiffany specifically, objectively speaking, I'm just being honest, she may be a very funny individual. She may have a lot to offer. But ma'am, in my head, if I ever were to see a piece of her content, I'd just be like, oh, this the messy lady that got fired because she was telling the business at work that she didn't have no business telling, and she wanted to be friends with the lady that had the light, because I'm convinced that lady had a light on her life and it was shining hard because she wanted to be somehow friends or something with this lady, and because this lady didn't do whatever she wanted her to do, she did all of this crying and then got fired and then said she was trying to be a good person. This is a lot. But the corporate to TikTok pipeline needs to be studied.
No, but honestly, I've always wanted to do content creation and take it seriously, so I guess this might be the push I needed. I've also been wanting to get into real estate, so if you know anybody in Georgia who could help your girl do some fix and flips, I really want to get into that domain because obviously corporate America is not for me. So there you have it. For all of you naysayers and haters, your girl was finally caught. So yeah, I knew it was a possibility, so I'm not blindsided by this. I didn't have anybody to give me a heads up, unfortunately. How ironic is that? But yeah, that's the update.
And this comment says, they're probably watching right now like, here she go again. And she replied with, facts. I've seen a couple of them lurking, which solidifies my statement that I made in the beginning of this video. Coworkers blocked. And if not, why not? Especially if you are talking about things that are happening where you work. Do you want to end up like Miss Tiffany? Do you like having money in the bank? Or would you rather be unemployed? That is up to you, because no matter what you post on social media, if the people you work with are in fact lurking, you could be at risk of losing your job. But I need to know what y'all think about all this down below. Do you think that her job took it too far with terminating her, or do you think it was justified? What do you think about this whole situation? Should she have told this story at all? Should she have given the lady who was going to get terminated anyway a heads up? And how do you feel that nobody gave her a heads up? Is it a full circle moment? But we got to start making better decisions today in order to have a better future.